Annihilation of Caste, written by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Part 2. In the previous class, I talked about the general introduction to annihilation of caste and the biographical details of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Similarly, I started with the text of this lesson, that is annihilation of caste. Of course, in this class, I will proceed further. So yesterday, we came to know that within the Brahmin community, you have the Brahmins, those who are vegetarian, and the Brahmins, those who are non-vegetarians. So here, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is trying to convince us that if at all you really want to eradicate the caste system from our country, if at all you want to annihilate the caste system from our country, first of all, you need to eradicate the discrimination within the caste. And in this respect, he talked about the communities which are vegetarian and non-vegetarian communities. The last reference that we read was about the non-Brahmins like Gujaratis, Marwaris, Baniyas and Jains. These communities are also the vegetarian communities. Now you see the kind of ideas which are promoted by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar in this text. There is no doubt that from the standpoint of making the transition from one caste to another easy, the fusion of the Kayasthas of northern India and the other non-Brahmins of southern India with the non-Brahmins of Deccan, and the Dravidian country is more practicable than the fusion of the Brahmins of the south with the Brahmins of the north. But assuming that the fusion of subcastes is possible, what guarantee is there that the abolition of subcastes will necessarily lead to the abolition of castes? On the contrary, it may happen that the process may stop with the abolition of subcastes. In that case, the abolition of subcastes will only help to strengthen the castes and make them more powerful and therefore more mischievous. This remedy is therefore neither practicable nor effective and may easily prove to be a wrong remedy. So in this paragraph, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is trying to get into this particular standpoint that he has promoted right in the beginning. First, he said that there is an assumption that until and unless we really get rid of the subcaste system within a particular caste, we cannot even imagine about the annihilation of caste system in our country. But the standpoint being promoted by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is also very considerable. If you really see the kind of transition from one caste to the another caste, is that really easy? the fusion of the Kayasthas of the northern India and the other non-Brahmins of the southern India with the non-Brahmins of the Deccan and the Dravidian country. Whenever you try to get into all these details, you will find that that process is also very troublesome. And if at all that happens, that will have a different phase in future. Here, he is giving an example of the Dravidian country, means the Dravidian states like Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, and now you have Telangana also. They have their own culture, and the fusion of all these Dravidian states, it seems to be practical, but if at all it is really done, will it really work out? If you think about the fusion of the Brahmin communities, all the Brahmins from the southern part and the Brahmins from the northern part, or the Deshastha Brahmins, those who have their own subcaste within their caste, if at all you are trying to bring them together, will it really happen? If at all it happens, I think it will have a different phase tomorrow. Dr. Ambedkar says, amusing that the fusion of subcaste is possible, this question is really very considerable. What guarantee is there that the abolition of subcaste will necessarily lead to the abolition of caste? On the contrary, it may happen that the process of the abolition of subcaste will help to strengthen the caste and make them more powerful and therefore more mischievous. So this standpoint is very crucial. I think nowadays we could see this sort of thing. Among all the communities, the people are not much bothered about the subcastes within the caste. But we could really see now whatever vision that was expressed by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar long back, before the independence of India, we could see it right now in this 21st century. The people have almost forgotten about the subcastes. But one thing is there, the castes have become more dominant and the people have become mischievous. And therefore, this remedy is neither practical nor effective according to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and he says that it may easily prove to be wrong in the course of time. And now we could see in this present time that this kind of suggestion which was offered long back, that first of all get rid of the subcaste system within the caste. So whatever Dr. B.R. Ambedkar said in 1936 is proven today. Now you see in the subsequent part of this lesson. Another plan of action for the abolition of caste is to begin with the inter-caste dinners. This also, in my opinion, is an inadequate remedy. There are many castes which allow interdining, but it is a common experience that interdining has not succeeded in killing the spirit of caste and the consciousness of caste. I am convinced that the real remedy is intermarriage. Fusion of blood can alone create the feeling of being kith and kin, and unless this feeling of kinship, of being kindred, becomes paramount, the separatist feeling, the feeling of being aliens created by caste, will not vanish. Now, In this section of this lesson, we come across one more plan of action for the abolition of caste system in the country. It was said that once we start interdining in the sense intercaste dining, all the people belonging to different caste, creed, religion come together, share food, have food together, and automatically in the course of time, the feeling about one's particular caste will get minimized. But according to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, this remedy is really an inadequate one. In fact, he says that there are many castes which allow interdining. But the experience is the people don't climb up the another step of having intermarriages or intercaste marriages. So here, interdining is a common practice among many communities in India, but it has not really succeeded in killing the strong spirit of the caste system and the consciousness of one's own caste. And that's why Dr. B.R. Ambedkar promoted the idea that you can get rid of this feeling of one's own caste only by intercaste marriages. According to B.R. Ambedkar, the fusion of blood of the couple belonging to different castes and communities can alone create the feeling of being kith and kin, and unless this feeling of kinship, of being kindred, becomes paramount, the separatist feeling, the feeling of being aliens created by the caste, will not vanish. If you really want to get rid of the strong spirit of the caste, then you have to begin with the intercaste marriages, and the fusion of the blood is the only solution for this kind of problem. So this is the another idea which is promoted by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar in this particular respect. Then Dr. Ambedkar says, among the Hindus, intermarriage must necessarily be a factor of greater force in social life than it need be in the life of the non-Hindus, where society is already well knit by other ties. Marriage is an ordinary incident of life. But where society is a cut as under, marriage is a binding force, becomes a matter of urgent necessity. The real remedy for breaking caste is intermarriage. Nothing else will serve as the solvent of caste. Your Jat Paat Todak Mandal has adopted this line of attack. It is a direct and frontal attack, and I congratulate you upon a correct diagnosis and more upon your having shown the courage to tell the Hindus what is really wrong with them. See now, he continues to talk on the necessity of intermarriages or intercaste marriages in India. If you really see the social structure among the Hindu communities living in India, you will find that intermarriage must necessarily be a factor of greater force in the social life than it need to be in the life of the non-Hindus. Dr. Ambedkar says, where society is already well knit by other ties, we have different types of bonds. And because of these bonds, the society is well knit. And here, marriage is an ordinary incident of life. But mind it well, if you really see the entire social structure of the Hindu communities in India, of course, non-Hindu communities also, but this marriage is a very strong bond. It's a social bond. And it is considered to be the most important state in life. Dr. Ambedkar says, where society is cut as under, marriage works as a binding force, and that becomes a matter of urgent necessity. If you really want to get rid of the caste system, because the Indian people are predominantly religious and always think in the caste perspective. And if you really want to get rid of the caste system in our country, the real remedy for this problem is breaking the caste and promoting the inter-caste marriages. Nothing else will serve as the solvent of the caste system in our country. In the next expression, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar congratulated the members of the Jat Paat Todak Mandal, and he admires them for adopting this particular line of attack. And according to B.R. Ambedkar, it is a direct and frontal attack. He says, I congratulate you upon a correct diagnosis and more upon your having shown the courage to tell the Hindus what is really wrong with them. Now you see here, the fundamental reason of discrimination is being identified from this expression. Here, Dr. Ambedkar is trying to tell us that we need to identify the areas which are to be corrected by the Hindus. And until and unless the Hindus or the Hindu communities create this sort of fusion and get rid of the subcaste system and the caste system, the real equality will never come to the state. Then he says, political tyranny is nothing compared to social tyranny. And a reformer who defies society is a much more courageous man than a political or a politician who defies the government. See here now. Now he is going to talk about the political tyranny, which is nothing compared to the social tyranny. You have a social reformer who defies society in a much more courageous way. He proves to be a courageous man than a politician who defies the government. The role of a politician is to govern the country and to provide the best of the system to the people. Whereas a social reformer looks into the matters related to the society, and if he is really a courageous one, he will try to correct the people, try to bring them on the righteous right, on the righteous path. Then Dr. Ambedkar says, you are right in holding that caste will cease to be an operative force only when interdining and intermarriage have become matters of common course. Now also, you will realize that if you really want to bring the real equality in the real sense, this is the only remedy. First of all, let the people mix up together, have dining, that is called interdining, and let the people come forward for intercaste marriages, and that intercaste marriages and intercaste dining, once it becomes a very common matter in the society, then only we could see that there is no discrimination based on the caste in the country. You have located the source of the disease, but is your prescription the right prescription for the disease? Ask yourself this question. Why is it that a large majority of Hindus do not interdine and do not intermarry? Why is it that your cause is not popular? There can be only one answer to this question, and it is that interdining and intermarriage are repugnant to the beliefs and dogmas which the Hindus regard as sacred. Towards the end of this paragraph, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is trying to show a mirror to the members of the Jat Paat Todak Mandal. Of course, the kind of movement which was initiated by the members of the Jat Paat Todak Mandal was really good, no doubt. That was admired by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and other social reformers as well. But here, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is trying to raise a question that the kind of prescription that the Jat Paat Todak Mandal has really provided to the society, was that the right prescription for the disease? Now he is asking the members to introspect. He is asking them to question themselves. I think I am facing some problem. Here he says that every member of this mandal should think about the self. Why is it that the large majority of Hindus do not interdine and do not intermarry? We need to ask this question. Why is it that your cause is not popular? Of course, you initiated with a cause. But why the number of people, those who are joining to your mandal, are very few? There can be only one answer to this question. And it is that interdining and intermarriages are repugnant to the beliefs and the dogmas which the Hindus regard as sacred. Hindu community has its own set of values and they prefer to stick up to the same. And we need to identify these areas, and until and unless we address this particular point, the society will never have social equality. So these are the ideas which are shared by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar in this particular lesson. I think the kind of ideas which are expressed by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, these are the fundamental values, I think, in the respect of caste discrimination and the efforts to be put in to eradicate the caste system in our country. According to him, caste is not a physical object like a wall of bricks or a line of barbed wire which prevents the Hindus from commingling and which has therefore to be pulled down. See here, this thought is quite crucial. He is trying to make a comparison of the caste system or the caste that we find in our society or community with the physical objects around us. We have a multiple number of physical objects around. But here, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar says, caste is not a physical object like a wall of bricks or like a line of barbed wire, which actually prevents the Hindus from commingling and which has therefore to be pulled down. According to him, caste is a notion. Caste is a state of the mind. The destruction of caste does not take place until and unless you hit on the bottom of it. Therefore, he says, the destruction of caste does not therefore mean the destruction of a physical barrier. It means a notional change. You can get rid of a physical matter. You can get rid of a physical object by breaking it down. But the caste system in the Hindu communities is basically a kind of notion. And until and unless you bring a notional change in the mind of the people, this strong feeling cannot be eradicated from the mind of the people. Caste may be bad. Caste may lead to conduct so gross as to be called man's inhumanity to man. All the same, it must be recognized that the Hindus observe caste not because they are inhuman or wrong-headed. They observe caste because they are deeply religious.